So I'm Lawrence Wagner with Spark Mindset. Spark Mindset is a social enterprise that is looking to reduce violence and poverty in low socioeconomic communities. We do this through creating a diverse and inclusive environment for corporations, high school students, and local communities. So right now we want to focus on how we're going to help high school students. And we're going to do that through a virtual reality educational gaming platform that teaches cybersecurity, coding, and entrepreneurship to high school students. So through, one of the ways we're going to do that is through an adaptive learning model. So through our adaptive learning model, we will help students as they adapt to different learning styles. This allows students to have faster and higher quality of progression as they go through our environment, and improves the students' understanding of the material, and it engages students. And I think this is a really important part, is we, throughout the game, will be continuing to engage our students through the process. Another model that we're going to use is the computational thinking model. So we're going to break down big courses like cybersecurity and then coding into smaller chunks. Within the game, they're going to have to go through different scenarios that allows them to go through a series of steps. It allows them to analyze the data, pick up the data, but it allows us also to be proactive. It allows us to look into the future and look at potential impacts and be able to address them. It allows us to be able to replicate models from different scenarios. So the students will continue to get the best level of education in the technical field. They will be, and we will find the best model of learning. So as that changes, we can make those changes as the standard and as technology changes as well. So we're doing this through a virtual reality environment. And the reason we chose to do virtual reality, because as students play games, it gives them a sense of achievement. So as they are accomplishing and progressing through the levels, they're earning badges, they get a sense of achievement, which further engage that student to be able to want to stay in the game. It also encourages students to continue to learn content. It challenges them, so it helps them to be able to think critically. It helps them to be able to think adaptively, and it helps them and it motivates them to continue moving forward when things are hard. So the educational tracks that we chose to have the students go through was cybersecurity, coding, and entrepreneurship. We did this based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, where cybersecurity, there is going to be 3.5 million unfulfilled cybersecurity jobs in 2021. In coding, in 2020, there will be a 17% increase in software development jobs. And in entrepreneurship, 40% of people in the workforce will be either independent contractors or they will be entrepreneurs or solo entrepreneurs. So I'm going to take you down the cybersecurity track. So John comes to us as a student and he has no idea about cybersecurity. He has no idea or very little about any computer skills. And so we would take John from having no skills to, after a year in our program, he will have basic level cybersecurity skills where he can pass the Security Plus certification. Some of the subjects he's going to be doing is computer systems and data analysis. So we want to gamify this. So as John is playing this and he's learning these skills, he's moving up different levels. John is also, by being in his environment is competitive. So again, he doesn't want to fall behind his peers because he wants to compete with them as they're progressing. He wants to progress as well. So it continues to engage the student. It continues to challenge the student while he's in this game. As the student levels up, the students is gaining skills, and the students have also the ability to earn badges along the way. So as the student is leveling up in his technical skills, let's take data analytics. So as he finished that level, he will be given an assessment, and that assessment he has to pass that assessment to go to the next level. That's how we're going to start off doing it. So this way we are able to track the information, but eventually what we will do is we will actually eventually we'll be able to actually, hold on, I got stuck. Track that by them making eventually we'll be able to track their technical skills as they complete a project. So actually putting something together, we'll be able to track those skills. We also want to increase their Common Core skills in math and science. So as they're going up in levels, we know that they're going to go up in math skills and in science skills at each level as well. So students are earning badges, and how they earn badges is by helping other students. So there is collaboration that these students are learning. They're learning teamwork, and they're learning problem solving, not just for themselves, but also for the group as well. And they cannot pass our program without earning 3 to 5 badges, which means they've helped their students in some way, their fellow students in some way, shape, or form. So John will be able to come and look at his dashboard and see how he's either growing in math and science. He'll see what skill level he's gaining from the levels that he's progressing in the coding. He'll see what skills he has like mastered and what skills he needs to improve on, or what are the next skills. The teachers will be able to see this data as well, along as administrative, and this will be a live data. So this will be, if John is running to the problems, the teacher would be able to see immediately what problems he's running into. They can be able to devise a plan of how to help John. As you know, they can ask John, have you talked to other students, or what help that teacher can provide for John. They will also be part of a virtual a virtual community. So basically, they will be able to talk to people across the country. So they get to learn to talk to people from different economic backgrounds, different gender, different races, just different backgrounds in general, and be able to form a supportive community. Not everyone has a supportive community at home, so this would be a place where they will be in a safe environment to grow with their fellow students and to be able to create bonds. Teachers will have access to this as well, and so will my team. My team will be tracking to make sure that this environment continues to be safe for every student that's going to be involved. We're also teaching them workforce development skills. So they will be able to learn financial literacy courses. They will be taught in resume writing. They'll learn how to conduct interviews. What we are providing are not just technical skills, but we want to also provide soft skills. So half of the time they will be in a virtual reality environment. The other half, they will be either doing the workforce development or they will be engaging with their teachers. So going forward, teachers will no longer teach from a teacher direct, where the teacher is standing in front of the classroom and like lecturing the teachers. it'll be more of a learning directive where teachers will be able to help specific students who are having problems. So they will now be able to focus individually, give more time to those students where they're having problems at that particular point in time. They will also be able to, pose thoughtful and open-ended questions and be able to build relationships, stronger relationships with their students. So the teachers will facilitate conversations, but the students will give teachers input into where they're at in the game, what they've learned in the game, how the game is impacting. So now this is a dialogue where the teacher is helping, but the student is also learning at their own pace. So what this does is it creates a learning environment not only for the students, but for the teacher as well. So we want the classroom to be more of a bond where there's open learning for everyone that's a part of this environment. And with that, do you have any questions for me?
No, not right off the top. I like the concept. I like the concept of gamifying the learning experience. I'll be interested to see what that kind of looks like, how those badges are awarded, or how the game is actually engaging for students.
Okay.
But it seems like you've got some good research behind you. I like the incorporation of the soft skills. I also like how you've identified the markets that you want to focus on to begin with based on job opportunities. I think that's smart.
Yeah, our goal is to provide students with the opportunity to have jobs coming out of high school.
Okay. And so so will there be, like, in addition to the badging, will there be any sort of certificate program or for completion that you're hoping to get accredited or recognized?
So no, we want them to actually, take the cybersecurity and whatever certifications they can take for front-end coding. But what we're doing is creating partnerships with industry. So like the student, once they finish our program, they can go into internships while they're in school. So these students, we're focusing on 9th and 10th grade. So they will get the additional training and learning while they're in school. And so coming out of school, they can actually go straight into like the workforce.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about the collaboration aspect between students and what that'll look like?
So yes, so students will, so let's say I have a problem. So I can do this way. So I'm having trouble progressing in class. And so I'm having difficulty. So I post out a message and says, hey, I'm having difficulty in this part right here. Can anyone help me? And so what he's looking for is for one of his fellow students to help him solve the part where he's stuck. If enough people are getting stuck on that part, we look to another student to create like a video or a training that says, hey, I was stuck here. Here's how you get out of that.
Okay, so it's not solely text-based then. It's not just through messaging. Can be other components.
Yes, there will be other components besides just messaging. I think video is probably going to be huge in our platform as well.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about the technical aspects of it as far as how you see it being integrated technologically with schools or otherwise.
So one, we see this as an elective. So
Mhm.
this will be, you know, apparently another program on top of the other programs that they're already doing. So the schools will buy the equipment, or for some schools will provide them with equipment through grants or other partnerships. Um, and then the students will actually, like, while they're in class, they have the ability to like use it from a technical logical standpoint for 30 minutes, and then they will go into the workforce development. One thing that's going to be also as well is if the student has the equipment, they will be able to like play it in the libraries. They'll be able to play it, you know,
From home or
from home and other, yeah. So we're going to be able to make it where they can log in. As long as they have a computer that supports the system, they should be able to log in and be able to continue to progress in the game.
okay. And so what will the technological requirements be as far as laptop capabilities
Right.
or anything
So
else?
they need the virtual reality goggles. They're like $400 from Microsoft because it's a Microsoft specific technology. Their new mixed reality environment is where we're going to build it from. And then
Okay.
there's going to be a laptop involved. An Acer laptop is, we looked it up, it's like $600-700.
Okay.
So, but that's if they want to use it outside of the classroom. That they will have to incur this cost. So
Oh, right.
other than that, it's more likely the school that's incorporating this cost.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So what kind of is there anyone out on the market who's already developing VR educational modules that you've been
Yeah,
looking at for?
yes. So there are quite a few companies that's creating ed tech through VR. They're up and coming. One company, I don't know specific names, but just got funded like $3 million to do this. But what I've noticed is they haven't tackled these subjects like cybersecurity or coding. They're still at, you know, what I consider kind of low level games in education,
Okay.
where but they're still hitting principles such as adaptive learning, but they're still not at the advanced stage that we're trying to push our games at. And part of that is not the virtual realities, these companies who started earlier. Part of it is the technology wasn't there. So the technology, we just are coming in the market at the perfect time where the technology will be up to what we want to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so at the beginning, you talked a lot about diversity. Can you tell me a little bit about, a little bit more about that? Is it just the platform? Is it the subject areas that you've chosen? What exactly is helping you target diversity with this specific product?
So one is going to be the schools. So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
our primary focus is on underserved schools.
Okay.
And then by focusing, but not completely, isolating other schools, we can create that diverse workforce that a lot of companies don't have. and a lot of companies are searching for.
Okay.
And so it's by creating that pipeline to actually begin to come into the STEM fields and then be able to work. I mean, as you know, the numbers, even from STEM Colorado, is 6% of Hispanics are into STEM career fields. And from the National Science Foundation states only 3% of African Americans are in STEM career fields. So,
Right.
you know, when I look at numbers like that, and when jobs say we can't find them, and then the data shows what only so many are going to college, then where the problem is not being taught at a younger age where they can get interested in enough into these fields.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reason we're targeting ninth grade specifically is that's the point of where students decide if they're like, not decide, but it's a very important factor of whether they're going to drop out or not. If you can keep them engaged and keep their grades up in the ninth grade, it shows that they're more likely to graduate high school than if they start off very hard, like rocky in the ninth grade.
Hmm. Awesome. Well, it seems like a good concept. I like a lot of the research that you've put into it, and seems like you're coming at it from a good angle.
Thank you.
Is there any other sort of feedback that you're looking for right now, or?
No, I think that will be it. Definitely, like I talked to Amanda, who was at Denver Public Library. I definitely, as we're moving forward, want to keep the libraries involved.
Okay.
As we're moving forward, I think, library is gonna have a very influx of kids, and so how can we leverage that back and forth for not just for our benefit, but also for the library's benefit and the kids' benefit. So.
Yeah, I would love to learn more about it, because Arapahoe Libraries, we invest in a lot of the technology, but it's mostly just kind of a fun, hey, look at this, like test it out before you buy it kind of thing. And I'd love to see there be more application driven behind it, especially so that we can serve those underserved populations that don't have access to those things at home.
Right.
So, yeah, so definitely keep us in the loop, and I'd love to hear more about it as you get further in the process.
Okay. Will do. Thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Have a great afternoon.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.